What's good, everybody? I'm DJBrothaZ, and I'm on Juice Talk TV, because I got the juice.
That way.
Shorty wanna rock with me, I think that we gon' be okay. Shorty got lots of dreams and she don't wanna be away.
Juice Talk TV, what's going on, man? It's your main man, Corte. And today we have a very, very, very special guest on the platform. The one and only, my brother, DJBrothaZ, man. How you feeling?
What's good, bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Glad to finally have you part of the platform.
Long time overdue, for sure.
Definitely, but you know, it's all about timing. But it's only right to start the show off the right way. And you know I got to give you your flowers. The main reason why we going to give you your flowers is, man, you've been doing so much work through the past years, man. And it started so young. You started so young, man. DJing, you know what I mean, playing instruments. You know what I mean? Working at the clubs, and being a Bucks DJ. You know what I mean? Like you very well rounded when it comes to this music, man. It's only right that you receive your flowers and let Juice Talk TV be the first ones to give you.
Appreciate
And it's not only because you're on TV, and it's not because you're on this platform, and it's not because you're my brother. It's because you really, honestly, genuinely deserve it, and that's coming from the bottom of my heart, man, for real.
Appreciate that, bro.
So without further ado, man, for the people who don't know DJBrothaZ, who haven't actually seen you on this platform in particular, let them know who DJBrothaZ is.
So for those that don't know, like you've been saying over and over, my name is DJBrothaZ, Zachariah Simmons, for those that know. And what can I say, man? I'm a kid from the South Side of Milwaukee that's just trying to make it. And in doing that, you know, I'm meeting people along the way that's helping me get to, you know, where I want to go and do the things that I want to do. And if it wasn't for people like you or, you know, platforms like this, some of those opportunities may not, you know, come. And so being, you know, the first generation student graduating from college in the immediate family, that was like, okay, I'm here to do something, like, because that was something I never really thought was gonna happen, low key, like graduating college, like even going to college, let alone getting in, like it's just a lot of doubts, especially, you know, coming from where we come from and growing up the way that we grow up. And so I just try to be myself, and this is me. And you know, I gotta shout out 101.7thetruth.
There you go. We're gonna tap into that. We're gonna tap into that.
Yeah,
we're gonna tap into that.
Okay. I'll say that.
We're gonna tap into that.
But yeah, that's DJBrothaZ in a nutshell.
Okay, so you stated that you grew up on the South Side. Obviously, how was it growing up on the South Side of Milwaukee?
I honestly loved it. I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of Hispanics. So if you know, you know. But the summer times were lit. Like I remember, I would go down to my neighbors, and they would sell. It's called a limbe, which is basically like a popsicle kind of in a cup that's frozen.
Yep.
And so they would have like different types of flavors or whatever, and it'd be 50 cents. And so like just growing up on the South Side, I definitely had the one of the best childhoods for sure, especially in our city. And
let me ask you this, only child, or you got any siblings, brothers or sisters?
I'm the only child. No, I'm the youngest child, actually.
That's what's up.
It's you, Xavier, my brother Josh, and then Travis, my stepbrother.
That's what's up.
And then I guess my dad always been telling me that I have a sister that I don't know about, so you may have some insight on that.
I don't know.
We have to talk
you shocked
about
me on that one. I don't know.
You ain't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
You've been telling me that since I was like this tall.
We're gonna have to talk. But you know, it's all about you right now. So yeah. But so as a kid growing up, man, how was it for you, man, growing up as a kid, man? Like you seemed like you was a pretty smooth kid, you know, for people who wasn't really around you. Like I'm pretty sure you never really got into no trouble and stuff like that.
I mean, growing up, I ain't gonna lie, it was tough just because I was growing up, and all of my friends around me, you know, they had 2-parent households, and that was something that I was never really, you know, used to or familiar with. Correct. It was always, you know, going by somebody's house on a weekend or every other weekend or whatever the case was. So it took a lot of adapting to realize that, like, I was different in that way, but also one and the same as into, where I'm grateful to have both parents, because there was, a lot of people around me that didn't have any. And so
Correct.
just figuring out how to navigate that growing up, it let me hold my friends closer and treat my friends like family. And so yeah, I feel like actually growing up that way probably was for the better, just because if it wasn't for that, I really wouldn't be who I am today. And so I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I can just take all those life lessons that I learned, as a child, and
I can say
apply that to adulthood.
I could say that when we were younger, I used to look forward to just coming over to their house and couldn't wait to see you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
same.
just hang around, play the game all night. How you
Yup.
used to do. Game one system after this system. Somebody get off system and somebody get on that system. You know what I mean? Like, we definitely had some fun times, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So
Definitely, man.
definitely. And like you said, you mentioned school for sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure you was I don't want to use the term popular, but I'm pretty sure you was a likable kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody gravitated towards you in some type of way.
Yeah, I wouldn't say popular either, but I was
right.
definitely likable. I was definitely approachable, even though I was always the biggest kid in the room.
There you
But
go, approachable.
I'm a big teddy bear at the end of the day. Like, as long as you don't cross me, I'm a big teddy bear. So it's just like I'm definitely all about peace and
Trust
just,
me, I know.
Like,
I know.
like we could be cool. What's up? Like, there's no reason to have animosity when you first meet somebody, or to judge them by what they look like or what they're wearing. Like,
Right.
you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they got to go home to. So
Exactly.
you got to give them the benefit of the doubt, that first chance. And if anything, you just got to say, oh, they must be having a bad day.
Let's talk music, man. Obviously, you have a love for it. Obviously, you have a niche for it. And for the people who don't know, and even me, I want to know who some of your inspirations and idols was back in the day, like, or even now. Just
So growing up, and I'm probably going to get flack for it, but I got to shout out DJ Khaled, just because I remember, hearing him scream his name and always hearing him say another one, but never really realizing like what he does or what he was doing for him to have his name attached to things that he was having his name attached to. Once I figured out, it was like, oh, so he's executive producing. He's he's in a room with a bunch of producers, and he's listening to what they're putting together, but giving them ideas about where to put things where, or what different sounds to use. And so definitely him. Definitely got to shout out Lil Wayne. He was always on the radio growing up. And I just got to shout out the radio in general, because I always listened to Kiss FM and V100 growing up. So anything that was on Kiss FM or V100, like, definitely big inspiration. Definitely T-Pain too. I can't forget T-Pain.
And we gonna tap into that. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
He's on a whole another level. So
we're gonna tap into that. We're gonna tap into that.
It's a lot, and it's just, I feel like just hip hop in general is what inspired me, and just music overall.
I'm gonna tell you this. You may not know this, or you might not remember it. And man, Dad used to listen to a lot of. You seen Dad collection of music?
Yeah, a lot of jazz CDs, right?
A lot of jazz.
And that's the thing. So I'm finding myself now like really liking jazz.
What do you sound like? You sound like me, don't you? Liking jazz.
Like some of the most recent songs that I've been saving on my phone, I would have never imagined, that I'd be listening to, but it's just so smooth, and sometimes you just gotta you just gotta relax sometimes.
And I said that to say, I believe it's in our blood. That's why I said that, because if you look at Dad collection, all those CDs that he had, all those albums, all those records, he even still had the old school record player.
I want to say, because didn't he get a lot of those from Grandpa though too?
That it's in our blood. It comes down. You know what I mean? Like, if you really,
and mugs are from Chicago.
If you really, Chicago is the house of what?
Blues, yeah.
Come on now.
Jazz and blues. Let's go. Okay.
You see where I'm going with this? So, Dad used to listen to a lot of jazz and stuff like that. A lot of music, man. A lot of fine taste for music, man. I believe that's where we got a lot of ours from. So, like I said, you did a lot of music, man. I believe you really kind of started off with the instrument back in the day when you were younger. And
Yeah.
I'm not. Don't quote me. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact instrument. And I believe it might have been two, or was it?
Yeah, so in like back in elementary school, I started out on piano.
Yep, the
And I
piano.
feel like, without knowing the piano, you really won't be able to play any
Anything.
instrument. Like, and that's just straight up because everything that's on the piano is what's going to be played on any other instrument. And so started with piano,
Yeah.
moved to violin in like 4th grade, but the teacher told me my fingers were too big. So he moved me
What?
so he moved me to double bass, upright bass. And so I was playing upright bass, joined band in middle school. Didn't really like it. I was trying to follow in my brother Josh's footsteps and play the drums, but it was just a lot of the rhythms got like way too tricky for some reason. Like, and I didn't realize afterwards, but realized it was because I was dyslexic. But so then I switched to orchestra, went back to double bass because I had some other friends in orchestra, and just played double bass till high school. Bought a bass guitar, which is just an electric double bass. Got a regular guitar, but I didn't wasn't able to do too much because tiny strings, big fingers. So I was like, all right, bass guitar it is. So we switched to bass guitar. And then also in high school, I was fortunate enough to be in the Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra.
And that's where I came to see you perform.
Yep, and I was playing steel pan drums.
Yep.
And so when I say Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra, you would think that I would be playing, double bass
Something like that.
in an orchestra.
Exactly.
But the thing about MISO is they have so many different groups. They have the orchestras, they have trios, they have quintets, whatever the case may be. But I was just lucky enough to be in soca and calypso, which is the steel pan drum band. And so I did that for 2 years. I played cello drums, which is just a set of 2 steel pan drums.
I remember.
Then my senior year, I moved on to bass steel pan drums, which is just 6 50-gallon or 100-gallon, whatever, like just the biggest, trash can, like a bonfire.
Right.
Like, just tipped upside down,
Man, look.
and it's just dented.
I remember going to shows when I was back younger in school, and they used to have performances like that. Everybody, banging on the drums. They got the water and the paint flipping up off of it and everything and stuff like that. I mean, amazing performance. If anybody ever got a chance to see something like that, it's nice. It's amazing.
It definitely gave me like blue band group vibes.
There you
That's
go.
why I wanted
That type
to
of
join
style.
it. I was
That type
like,
of
wait a
style.
minute, I didn't even know they had these instruments up here. And I was like, oh, that's like the Little Mermaid instrument. Like that's the best way to describe it. If you don't know what a steel pan drum is, if you know Little Mermaid,
That's a perfect example.
you know what a steel pan drum is. So
let's talk DJing, man. When can you say you first fell in love or wanted to do it, man? You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to say it was a surprise or it came out of nowhere, because all of this happened for a reason. All of this equals up to this. But where did the love for it come from? Like, how did you know that was going to be your niche?
So, and it's crazy because I wasn't even doing it like when I knew, but I was at like it was like an orientation or something, like in 8th grade. It was towards the end of the year, and it was like we were in the auditorium, and they had a whole bunch of representatives from different high schools in Milwaukee. They're just telling us like what they had to offer and like what clubs they had to offer and stuff. And I just remember Reagan was there, and they were like, "Oh, we got a DJ club," and like my ears just perked up, and I was like, "What?" Like I ain't never heard of that. So I was just like, "Okay, that's something to think about." And I remember when I applied to Reagan, like to go there for high school, I was on the waiting list for like all summer. Like I was still on the wait list until like 1 or 2 weeks before their school year started. Like I was enrolled in Hamilton. Like I was fully prepared to go to Hamilton, just because I was still on the wait list for Reagan and just didn't think I was going to get in. And so I ended up getting into Reagan, but I didn't join DJ Club until my sophomore year at high school. So I just saw how they were, how they were moving, and saw that they were the ones DJing like our dances, because I just thought it was like a club or whatever.
Right, like a club. Like you didn't know how serious it was, basically.
Right, exactly. So I didn't really think anything of it. But then, like, when I saw that my friend was in it, and I saw the equipment that they were using, I was like, that's nice.
like this.
You know,
This
like,
ain't no
right. It's like I think I want to do that, and I think I can do that. And so I started getting private lessons, low key, from my guy. He would just show me beat matching and show me everything that he was learning in DJ Club. He would just show me during our study hall. And so I was learning like outside of DJ Club and after school and stuff. And then once I felt like I was confident enough in myself, that's when I actually joined DJ Club. Because then I kind of had an edge on everybody. I kind of already knew what I was doing versus everybody, you know, just learning the terminology and everything. Like I was like, I'm ready to DJ. I'm ready to mix. Like, let's go. Like, and so yeah, I gotta say it was eighth grade, ninth grade was when I knew I was like DJing is what I was gonna do. And even in high school, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm older, but it's gonna be with music.
That's crazy.
Like, I'm gonna be, you know, a music producer. I'm gonna do something with audio engineering. Like if I was looking up like majors. Like it was, I was in that deep.
Right, I could tell, because even since then, like I said, like it wasn't no turning back. You doing parties, you doing small events, you doing school events, basketball events. You even working at the Miramar clubs and stuff like that. Like I said, like it's actually like getting you somewhere, paying off. You know, you're gonna tap into a lot more of that. You know what I mean? And one thing I wanted to bring up, you know, and it's kind of going backwards. It's like I said, you got a lot of stuff to talk about, so we're gonna be kind of going back and forth and here and there. But before your career and before your major success, you ran across of numerous of celebrities in your past. It was just like you was just destined to be great. Like even when you was working at the movie theater, if people don't know, if they don't know. When you was working at the movie theater, like every time I turned around, you was meeting a celebrity. I'm talking about Giannis, Moose.
Yeah, Moose, Greg Monroe.
Yep. Anthony Petty.
Pettis.
Ishtar.
I was just with Ishtar the other day.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, shout
out to Ishtar, man.
Shout out
Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
A lot of these people you met close hand up front just by being in the right place in the right time, man. Just how did that feel? How did that make you feel? Like, did you even notice, like, damn, is this meant to be type shit? Like, how did that make you feel seeing all these celebrities almost every week, every day, every month? Like,
so moments like that made me realize that they were just regular people. Like that they like going to the movies.
There you go.
They like eating popcorn.
There you go.
You know, they like being at State Fair with their kids or whatever. And I ain't seen anybody at State Fair. I'm finna manifest that.
Right.
But you know, they're regular people, and they like to you know, just do things outside of their profession, just like everybody else.
But you know, a lot of people don't get a chance to even see their favorite basketball player, let alone rap artists. You know what I mean? And you bumped hands and shook hands with a lot of these guys before your career was actually even taking off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that really just goes to, you know, being in the right place at the right time and being around the right people, you know, in that moment of my life and having the right circle around me in that moment in life. Because it's like a lot of the you know, people that I was with when I met Giannis or met Jabari Parker or met Anthony Pettis, like, I don't talk to anymore because I don't work with them.
See?
Same thing with, you know, it's like when if we're opening for Babytron or if we're bringing Lakia to the city, it's just like, you know, those people are only in your life for a certain amount of time, and you just gotta appreciate that moment while you have it, and when it comes and goes, you just gotta be thankful for the experience and take what you learn from it and apply it to however, you know, will benefit you in the future.
Well said. And I'm glad you brought up the Babytron and the whole Lakia situation and Lil Easy.
Yeah, shout out to Lil Easy too.
Lil Easy. I was gonna actually bring that up, man. Congratulations on those opening big acts.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
A lot of people, like I said, man, hard work is actually paying off, and I can see it. And I'm proud of you. I really want to say I'm proud of you, man. It was no perfect time than this to actually, you know, give you your flowers, and this is real shit.
Appreciate it.
Real shit. So like I said, so hard work is starting to pay off. Truth. Let's talk about Truth, man. That's the radio station.
Yeah, man. 101.7 The Truth is a blessing, man, because if it wasn't for them, like, I probably really still would be at the movie theater. Like, who knows what I would be doing, but it's
and
like...
And then that's Joel.
Yeah,
and,
well, so Joe's not there anymore,
okay, I'm
but
sorry,
like
I'm sorry.
they were able to, you know, rescue me out of that situation, because it was like pandemic came, we're not DJing anymore. It's like, all right, movie theaters open 3 days a week, but they're only scheduling people 1 day a week to keep the rotation, so they don't gotta lay anybody off. And our content director Kyle, he reached out to me and he was like, "What's good, Z? See that, you know, you're active out here in the streets in the 2020 protests and everything."
That too.
He was like, I see that, you know, you have goals and ambition, and he was like, there's going to be a new radio station opening in Milwaukee, and I think you would be a good part of it. And so he just kind of gave me that rundown of what, you know, 101.7 The Truth was going to be about. And I was like, all right, bet. I filled out an application, and like the rest was history. I found out that, you know, Good Karma Brands is our, you know, our parent company, and they own stations all over the nation. But they own 2 other stations in the city. They own 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, and then 620 WTMJ. And through my applying to 101.7 The Truth, I found out that one of my mentors from like way back in middle school, shout out to John Mercure, he works at 620, and when he found out that I was applying for The Truth, he emailed everybody that I had an interview with, like literally the same day that I had an interview with them, and they were like, wow, y'all would be stupid if you don't hire him. And so definitely got a shout out to John.
Shout out to John.
And shout out to Kyle too, because if it wasn't for Kyle, I wouldn't have gone to college, because he was the person that recruited me to go to Parkside. So I was at Reagan, and we had a college fair in the cafeteria one day, and I'm walking around, and Kyle's, you know, one of the only black dudes in there. So I go up to him because I'm gonna feel more comfortable around him. So I just go up to him, see how he got to be standing on the other side of the table. And he's telling me about Parkside and asking me what I have, you know, dreams about doing or aspirations or everything. And I was in our radio club at Reagan as well, Radio Reagan. So I told him, I was like, oh, like I'm interested in like radio and broadcasting, and like I like listening to music and everything. He was like, oh, Parkside has a great comm department, like you would fit in right away, and rest was history. And then yeah, so when he reached back out to me after all of those years of, you know, not even really talking, it was just like, dang, you still, you know, keeping tabs on me?
I keep it out, say like, you following, you watching.
But it wasn't even only that. Like he saw me in an article about the protests and everything too. That one of my friends, Adam Carr. My friend Adam Carr, he wrote an article like just about like all the protests and stuff that was going on and how it was affecting the youth, and you know what they thought was ahead of them, and it was just it's just a short like text interview or whatever, and gave him my 2 cents, and he published it, and I guess Kyle.
I remember you posting that on your Facebook.
Yeah, and I guess Kyle was just like reading through the news one day and just saw the name, and he was like, I know that dude.
I remember that because you was going heavy with the protesting and everything.
Yeah, man.
I remember that. I definitely remember that. Clear as day.
Yeah.
So now, my boy, you are an official concourse. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
DJ for the Milwaukee Bucks, man.
Yeah, man. This is my 2nd season doing it.
Second season, man.
2nd season.
Are you the youngest? One of the youngest?
I would imagine. I really don't. I mean, our DJ roster is deep. So shout out to everybody on the Bucks DJ roster.
Shout out to
There's
everybody.
way too many of y'all to mention. So I'm not even.
Shout out
try.
to the Bucks and all the DJs.
Like y'all know exactly who you are. But now that I think about it, I definitely think I am one of the youngest, if not the youngest.
How did you land that spot, man? I mean, obviously, you know, everything falls in your life, working and playing your cards right, obviously, man. But, you know, everybody is not fortunate enough to land them type of positions, man.
Right. And like we've been saying, everything happens for a reason. And so pandemic came. I used that time to, you know, really lock in on like my DJing skills. I was practicing more than ever because I had nothing else to do. So I was really just practicing, making sure that I was ready for all of the opportunities that were going to come for when the world opened back up. And so, and in working at the radio station, I was able to meet Mel and Joe, who at the time were the hosts for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I mean, still shout out to Joe, shout out to Mel. It's just Mel and I at the radio station now. We're just evolving as a station. And people evolve as well. So Joe's doing his own thing. I gotta mention this because he's the only person in recent history and probably of recorded history to win an NBA championship, and then the very next year win a WNBA championship. So after he won the championship with the Bucks, he ended up getting hired by the Las Vegas Aces.
Wow.
And was able to hype up their crowd all the way to a WNBA championship.
Shout out.
So, where everybody that comes around me is just making things happen.
That's deep, man. That's great. I'm See, that's the people you got to surround yourself about. You know what I mean? That's the pool you have to put yourself in. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's playing your cards right, being in the right place at the right time.
And and to just like to finish answering your question, read your emails. Just because I was going through my email one day and I got an email from the Bucks and it was like, oh, preseason tickets are going on sale for this season. And for some reason, I just kept scrolling and I scrolled all the way down to the bottom of the email. And it was like, oh, if you want to be on the Bucks entertainment team, click here. And I was like, click. And then in the tab, it was like a drop-down menu of what you wanted to be. You could, pick 404 crew, grand dancer. I'm like, I ain't at that age yet. But I was just looking at all the other options and I was like, DJ. And then I filled out a couple of questions, and then
I'm pretty sure they looked you up.
I'm sure they were like looking at my social media and everything. Yeah, like, and then they sent us another email. They were like, all right, we're about to have auditions, and at this time, like, it was still heavy COVID protocols, so they were like, we gotta come in like orderly, can't interact with anybody too much, gotta wear a mask,
can't have your phone out.
Yeah, and that was they wanted to keep things really under wraps, so it was really like an American Idol audition. Like I had like a number and everything that I was wearing, and I prepared. It was probably like the first time I ever prepared like a set or like prepared like a specific
like rehearsed.
Yeah, and rehearsed like at the same spots, like did the songs at the same transitions,
and
right?
Everything.
Yeah, so that way I could
on point.
Right, that way it was just like muscle memory at that point. But then I get there and I'm in the arena and now I'm on the court. Like they got it's set up like for a Bucks game. And now I'm on the logo, right, center court, and I'm just looking at all these empty seats around me. And I'm like, okay, I could definitely like DJ in a place with, with people in the seats like this. But then I start playing my music, and there's an echo in the arena because it's an arena.
It's right.
And I was not anticipating the echo, and so everything that I had planned just went out the window. Like I blanked. I damn near froze up.
This is the first
time. Right. And it's my first audition at that.
Ooh.
Like I've never really had an audition for anything. So I'm like, all right, plan B. So I put my headphones on and I turned it up all the way to cancel out everything that's going on around me. And I'm like, all right, well, if I can't hear anything, I'm not going to be able to scratch things in the way that I want to. So I'm like, all right, back to my basics. I start doing my button pushing, and I'm pushing buttons until I can at least shake the nerves off. Because at this point I'm like, oh yeah, I ain't getting it. And Mel, who I was just starting to work with at the time because of the radio station, we probably knew each other for maybe a year or so. Like I just know she's on the sideline, like yeah, go Zach, like recording with her phone or whatever, like a mom. So it was definitely an experience having to go through that audition, and then for them to just asked me to come back for a second season, like not knowing how it was gonna go at the end of the season. I didn't know if I was gonna have to like re-audition or like how like whatever they do, because it's like they have new talent every season, so it's like sometimes you may have to. And so when they reached out to me, they were like, what's your availability for, the first couple of games? I was like,
now.
oh, right. I was like, I'm free. Everything else is canceled.
That's what's up, man.
So,
Congratulations again on that, man. Like I said, everybody don't get a chance to make those type of job applications.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or abilities.
Right.
Man.
Put those on the resume.
On your resume. Speaking of arenas, man, you went to the Kanye West Donda tour, man. Speaking of arenas, you went to the Kanye West Donda tour, man. How was that, man? And is he a big inspiration to your beat making as well?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when it comes to just like sampling, I feel like he's definitely one of the greatest samplers of all time. Just because he's sampling stuff that I don't even know.
And then it makes you want to go know.
Right, and it's like if I actually did my due diligence and just sat down and listened to, the classic albums that you listened to growing up, that, I may be too stubborn or hard-headed to, give the time of the day whenever people tell me to listen to it.
You're going to find his sample.
Right. Like, it's when I listen to something and then if I can, like, once I recognize that sample or if I hear it, I'm like, oh, wait, he sampled this?
Yes, you'll be surprised.
So that just being I think it was at Soldier's Field, the Donda experience.
Man, how was that, man? It looked beautiful on your phone.
Yeah,
I just kept watching. I kept looking.
It was lit, man. I definitely dream about that often, and it definitely changed the way that
I'm glad you said that.
People should roll out albums and everything. And with that being the third, I think it was the third show, because he had had one in Atlanta
It was Atlanta at the MGM joint, right? Or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was some. Yeah.
And what the one you went to was in
in Chicago. But it was one of the last ones before the album actually came out, I should say. And so it was like some of the last changes were like already done, and just hearing it, like it was different, man. It definitely, like, not knowing anything that was coming next, like, and at that point, I saw a couple of the clips on like Twitter or whatever, so I knew like a couple of the chorus for some of, like, for Hurricane. Like I remember I watched that a lot, and so I was able to, like,
and that's the one with The Weeknd,
right? Yeah, I was kind of able to anticipate what was coming up next, so there I was able to like hum it at least. But for all of the other ones, I just had to sit there
and soak it in,
exactly, and absorb it, and just realize I was like,
you know what that's called?
That's that? Huh?
I'm sorry not to cut you off. You know what that's called?
What?
The element of surprise. That's the element of surprise, man.
Yeah, that's and I feel like because of that, I've gone to more concerts that I normally wouldn't go to, because like just the most recent concert I went to, DJ Diesel. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
You know who Shaq is?
I know who Shaq is.
So
what?
You know who DJ Diesel is, bro. Yeah, bro. DJ Diesel is Shaquille O'Neal's DJ name, and he was just at the rave this last Friday for postponed New Year's Eve concert, but it's different.
You gotta let us know next time.
It's different, and I tweet because I definitely had a +1 in the balcony. So it's like being after going to Donda and being in the element of surprise. I was like, all right, bet I gotta go watch Shaq DJ, because as far as I could, watch as many videos of him on YouTube as I want, but even then, there was still the element of surprise. It's like, because he's the type of DJ where he's a raver DJ, so he's playing like house music, like EDM, like trap music, like hard bass music, like not like the stuff that you just feel in your body shaking. And
rave music,
lasers, like
rave music,
mosh pits, like. This dude was calling out for a girl-only mosh pit a couple of times. So like,
Shaq.
Yeah,
Big Shaq with the
bro.
I
Like,
see this shit.
you want to see the picture?
We'll see it later.
Like I'm so being like that's a whole different element, I guess you could say, of surprise, because it's like he's playing a song that you recognize, but then it just goes into something completely different, and the crowd just goes crazy. And me not knowing, what's gonna happen, I'm just watching the crowd, and I'm in the balcony too, so I'm really watching the crowd. Like I'm watching the mosh pits, I'm watching people push each other. I'm just like, it's different.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna save it for y'all. I'm gonna enjoy it from up here, but it's definitely
that's like some Travis Scott shit,
right? Yeah, no, for real. And if I have any regrets about not going to a concert, it's not going to that Travis Scott concert when he went to Pfizer.
I remember you told me about that.
His concerts will never be the same.
You told me about that.
Probably same with Kanye.
Definitely.
Definitely take that. If you have an opportunity to go see one of your favorite artists, rest in peace, Pop Smoke, go see them.
That's your favorite artist? One of your favorite artists?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So moving along, man. We know you a beat maker, a part-time beat maker, man, and you made a lot of beats for people like Ace Parker. I believe you made some for J-Rock Superior.
Yeah.
And me, of course.
Of course.
Who else you have made beats for? People that that I might have not known, or in the city, major or small.
So I gotta shout out the homie Joe again, Joe Brown, aka your favorite Joe.
Okay.
I actually got a song with him coming out.
Okay.
Soon. It'll probably be out by the time this drops. I'm not sure when this is gonna drop, but
okay.
It'll be out in February 2023. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And other than that, like I've been able to, have a couple of messages back and forth with some other artists. I'm just gonna I don't want to give out too much, but I'm just gonna shout out to the Antetokounmpos, because I may be able to get something in the works with one of them. I ain't gonna say who, but that's definitely gonna be one of the goals of mine, especially after seeing him do a song with Ishtar. Shout out to Ishtar again. Definitely got to get some work with him as well. And so just seeing that, he has his eyes on Milwaukee, I'm like, all right, bet. And after they dropped that song, I reached out to him. I was like I'm messing with it. And I think even way before then, I reached out to him. I was like, I want to work with you. And he was like, let's do it. And when they dropped that song, I was like, all right, bet. I know the type of beat that I have to make. And so after that, I just started, working on it, and it's still not even a completed beat. Like it's definitely a work in progress, and still in the early stages. If that's the one that I sent to him, because artists like a variety. So I may try to come up with like a little 4 or 6 pack to send out to them, or whatever, or whoever the case may be.
And I kind of wanted to just take it back a couple questions. I wanted to mention, because we talked about T-Pain, and I know you had a couple encounters with T-Pain, a few. A few. And I can't leave that out just before we wrap this up, because I can't leave that out, man.
Yeah. So the first
encounter was on Twitter.
The first interaction I had with T-Pain was on Twitter.
Right.
What was it? Because it's been so many interactions at this point.
And that's why I said I had to bring it up.
So a couple that stand out to me, like, he helped me with an essay once in college. I was doing a paper on just I think it was like digital art or something, or it was something like art related, music related, and I chose to analyze his album cover 1UP. Excuse me. And I was just I just had like a couple questions about like what some things on the cover art represented, and I was like, what better way than to ask the sources of. So I reached out to him. I found out, I asked who did the artwork or whatever, and he told me it was Pencil Fingers. So shout out to Pencil Fingers, because Pencil Fingers has done artwork for people like Lil Wayne, Ty Dolla $ign, Kid Ink, like you name it, and he's done it, and all with pencils. And so reached out to him, I just asked him a couple of questions. you know, how long did it take? Like, how many drafts did you do? Like, on the album cover, there's a goat reflection that you wouldn't see. There's broken Grammys, broken plaques. And so I was asking him, I was like, do these represent like the scrutiny that, you know, you were getting in the industry and all that stuff? And he was like, yeah, essentially. And so he helped me out with a paper. Then I met him at Wisconsin Fest when he came and brought, you know, all of his friends for the first annual Wisconsin Fest at the rave last summer. That was really, really cool just because, like, this dude is just walking backstage, just casually, just going hopping from stage to stage because all 3 stages at the rave were being used at once. And so he was just checking out all of the other performances, all the other performers and whatnot. And so just being able to walk right past him and just nod or just like say what up to him, it was really nice. And like that first time that he saw me that night, I was wearing a T-Pain Sucks shirt because it's the brand he owns. Some dude had a website or whatever and called T-Pain Sucks. Yeah, it was selling merch called T-Pain Sucks, and he bought it out.
I remember that.
And I remembered I ordered a couple of shirts off of there. I had that one, and then I had one that says Autotune Sucks. And I was like, which one should I wear today? And I was like, I'm probably gonna say T-Pain, so I'm gonna wear the T-Pain Sucks shirt. And when he saw that, like, before the like shows even started or whatever, he was just
acknowledged.
Yeah, like he acknowledged me without me having to like go up to him. Like he damn near came up to me. I was like, "Dad."
Not even knowing that you the same person that helped me with the essay.
And I was like, maybe he recognized me from, you know, helping me with my paper. And like I remember one of the other interactions that we had on Twitter. I took a screenshot of a post that a concert venue posted. They were like, oh, rapper so-and-so is coming. And I remember T-Pain tweeted, he was like, I hate when venues do this.
And then he retweeted Joe retweeted.
Yeah, and I was like, bruh. I was like, what's this? And I don't remember what that interaction was, but he retweeted it and replied. He was like,
I couldn't leave that out, man. I had to mention that, man. Like I said, man, you've been all in the right places at the right time, bro. I'm so proud of you, man. Making major moves, man, and it's only gonna get bigger. It's just a start. It's just a start. It's more to come, man. Before we get out of here, I do have a serious question for you, man. I want to know, do you think Milwaukee is looked down upon, and if so, why?
Like just overall.
Just overall.
And now it is. I feel like it wasn't at one point, and I feel like it's always just so wishy-washy. It really kind of just depends on the time of the year, but I just really think just because of everything that has been going on, all of the headlines that have been you know, highlighted, and not even just highlighted locally, but highlighted nationally, and and exploited nationally and locally too. It's just that's a lot for people to take in, and if you're not from here, you don't understand. You think it, you read it and you're like, oh,
it's okay, bad time.
You're like, that's true. And I mean, a lot of it is true, but it's like a lot of it is, you know, media, and a lot of it is exaggerated in that sense, and it's gonna be like that literally anywhere. Like everywhere is gonna, you know, have that pocket, or, you know, those couple streets that you don't go down, or, you know, people try to avoid, whatever the case may be. You just gotta, you know, be aware of your environment and your surroundings at the end of the day. And I feel like as long as you respect your environment and your surroundings and the people around you, you really shouldn't have a problem, because it's just like, and I'm not even gonna mention them just because they have enough clout in the city. So it's just, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Hide your car keys. You know, get a new car if you have to, but it's messed up.
It's getting bad.
And you know, I gotta shout out Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth from 10 to 1 p.m. Just because today he was talking about they're gonna be building, or like they approved to build a new prison or like a new juvenile facility, like
Okay.
in the city, but like it's gonna be like at where Northridge is, I guess, or something. And
Ah.
his suggestion was, get these people that are either in danger of ending up at a facility like that, or like just heading down that path, get them to build it and be like, like you could be, building your own bed right now, like if you don't change your act. And so definitely just gotta like I said, be aware of your surroundings and care about the people around you. Like care about just because you don't got it don't mean you gotta take it from somebody that do.
Just because you ain't got it don't mean you can't get it.
That too work for
You
it.
gotta work for it.
Right.
Like I said, little bro, man, I'm proud of you. Always been proud of you, man. We might not talk every day. I might not see you every day. Just know I'm watching. You know what I mean? Shout out to your mom. Shout out to Jenny.
Right. Shout out, Miles.
Did your
Love you,
thing.
Miles.
You raised a hell of a kid. I'm sorry for the language.
I've been trying to see. Look, I've been trying to watch it. Look.
Shout out to Pops.
Yeah, shout out
Man,
Pops. Love you,
and
man.
shout out to Vanessa, man. I know she'll be definitely proud of you for sure,
Yeah.
man. She'll definitely be proud of
Definitely
you.
need some of that macaroni.
Some of the best cooking it is, man. Next to my mom's. But
Man.
like I said, man, just proud of you, bro. Keep it going, man. We proud of you. Your brother's proud of you. We love you. Keep going crazy, man. What can we expect from DJBrothaZ next, man? What you got coming up next, man?
Like I said, new music in February, and just new music in general, all 2023. New DJ mixes. One of my goals for this year was just to be more consistent with music and DJing, whether it's just making beats or working on old beats. Like, I got to get all that stuff out. I can't keep holding it into me. And it's like, I probably got 3 or 4 DJ mixes that are just ready to get
Just
posted,
ready.
and it's just like
It's all
I
about
just, I just
timing.
got to do it,
Yeah.
exactly, and it's all about timing and divine order for sure.
For sure.
And so it'll happen, but
It's gonna happen,
music
man.
soon, new music soon.
Man, let the people know where they can find you at, man.
Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter or on Facebook at DJBrothaZ. That's DJBrotha with the letter Z.
That way. And there you have it, man, ladies and gentlemen. DJBrothaZ, man. Y'all already know what's up next. Performing live with the mix down, man. DJBrothaZ. I like that. Juice Talk TV. We out.